If your black skin don't mean to you, trust me, they find value in it. And there's value in you not knowing who you are. Thank you for watching Chocolate Cake 101 and happy Black History Month. These videos are with love to all people. There is no exclusion here. If you feel like this is not about you and you want to listen anyway, that is perfectly perfect. Just remember, if I'm not talking about you, it's nothing wrong. I'm just talking about something else right now. Mic sounds nice. Check one. So the other day on my last video, for the first one, episode 1 for Black History Month, somebody left a comment on the lines of, you young folks, y'all always trying to change something, talking about a new Black History Month, sit down. I'm like ad-libbing, I think that's the word. They had made a comment that I wasn't a slave. I don't remember slavery. I don't remember segregation, and all good, beautiful points, which leads me, it literally, because I was doing all this research on the 60 years prior to slavery, between Columbus and slavery, but it led me, like Dorothy, to my next topic, because we're going to talk about melanin. Melanin, both the reasons why, one, you don't understand that I'm actually older than I look. Ding. And two, melanin is the reason why, is one of a few reasons why it's in the DNA, why a lot of Black people feel more connected to slavery, but it's really because of the school education, because they keep teaching this stuff. So I'm Shelly Jade. Welcome to Chocolate Cake 101. I know it looks like my hands are ashy, but it's really just the lighting. I have a rambunctious 2-year-old, and I think it's starting to show under my eyes. I said, look, if I'm going to get this done, it's going to be how I look right now. So you're just going to have grace today. That is the word of the day, is grace. Melanin. Melanin, the term became so popular. Oh, wait, hold on. I have to some disclaimers. Is my mic still on? Yeah, it is. I had to get professional. So, disclaimers. People get uncomfortable when melanated people, dark-skinned people, start talking about who they are. I'm not sure why. I want you guys to know you're in a safe place, okay? You're in a safe place. I want you to be who you are and be where you want to be, but I want you to know it's okay. When I was in high school, I think it was in like 11th grade, I had this book, Black Rage. It's in my storage. I still have the book. And I went to a school in in a very prejudiced county in North Carolina. But say, don't really want to, because I went to school in a prejudiced county. It had a prejudiced reputation, is what I should say. And I would walk around the school with this book, Black Rage. And what started out was a joke turned out to be just me being defiant, because I did make some people uncomfortable. Not everybody, just, you could tell when people are a little uncomfortable. And I feel like now that it's like turned the tide, like now I feel like, oh, I don't want to make anybody uncomfortable. I don't know where this happened, but I told you this is a part of my Black History series. I've been wanting to do this for a really long time. Don't forget to watch episode 1 if you haven't already done so, okay? Because it kind of just goes over all this. Today, I really just want to talk about melanin because it is such a beautiful topic. The term became popular, like really popular, a few years ago. I don't know if this was the beginning of the DEI era, but I do know that it became very apparent that dark-skinned people will spend their money on their emotions. I was about to say something racist. Black people will spend their money on their emotions. And so that became, to me, in my eyes, I could be wrong. It was like this gold rush to, a gold rush of inclusion. So you started seeing your melanin was popping and all these shirts and, earrings and everything. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. We're going to talk about melanin because it has always been a very popular buzzword in the spiritual community, specifically also the quote unquote Black spiritual community. I think you guys know how I feel about the term Black. I just say it anyway because it's like, okay, fine, I give up. You win. But I talk about the term Black, and I'm going to be talking about it again, but it's in my video here about 10 Black issues. I forgot the title of the video, but it's up here. Watch it. I talk about the legalities of that term and how I really don't like it anyway. But anyway, what is melanin, you guys? Because melanin is such a misunderstood word. And we're going to go over all that today. And once I tell you all about melanin, you're going to be very intrigued, whether you have a whole bunch or none, or very, very little tiny little bit, doesn't matter. You're going to be so freaking interested that you're going to start doing your own research. And I encourage you to. I'm here for it. Much love. So melanin is, if you look it up, if you like Google it, it'll talk about melanin being pigment. Melanin is more than just a pigment. I'm going to say melanin is a molecular structure, yeah, okay. It's a, I'm not trying to be too worried about saying things correctly, but I just feel like I want to make sure. So I got a lot of I have a lot of geniuses around me. And it's not a molecular construct. It's a molecular construct that is found in lots of life. I would say all life has melanin because everything in this universe is ran by melanin. So if you look it up, if you Google it, Google's going to talk about how it's in humans, it's in animals, it's in plants, it's in organisms such as like bacteria or fungi, whatever. But it's more than that. It's actually that darkness in the sky. It is literally all over the universe. I will explain this so much more magical when I talk about the spiritual aspects, but I want to talk to you guys about the science, what science says about melanin first. I'm going to try to be quick, but it's so much. It's so amazing. It's so dope that I might just have to take my time. All right. And I had to get help because this is a lot and I wanted to stay on task and I got really overwhelmed with the plethora of knowledge that people don't know. And really quick, for those of you who don't understand melanin, just to give you some quick, when they talk about how amazing, how awesome, how talented, how great Black people are, we're talking about they can run faster, jump higher, all that good stuff. That's a whole nother topic. Pisses me off. When I talk about all these things, that's what the melanin is when they say those things. But it's not just that. Melanin is a spark. It's like an electrical, magical substance that benefits everything that it touches. Everything has melanin in it, okay? But there are variations of melanin. There are different types of melanin. There's different amounts of melanin. Melanin is what makes the plants turn green. It gives it this beautiful hue. It's what makes the universe black. Melanin is in everything. It is everything. It's in all humans, okay? But there's different types and there's different degrees. I have never told you I was a scholar. I said I was a genius, but I didn't say I was a scholar. So when I mispronounce some of these words, I need you to understand I never told you that I was going to pronounce them correctly. But because I'm not English, you guys why do they create the English language just to make some shit confusing? That's another. Anyways, so there's 3 types of melanin. Like I said 4, but 3. There's eumelanin, there's pheomelanin, and there's neuromelanin. Eumelanin, someone correct me. They say is found in hair, skin, and nails, eyes, provides brown pigmentation, and that's all they say about it. Pheomelanin produces a yellow to reddish hue, and it's particularly found in red hair and lips. And then neuromelanin is found in the brain. It plays a protective role in your neural health. I am so insulted at the lack of information that they really want to give on these things. That's why I say just give me a second because I'm going to talk about this from a spiritual standpoint, and it'll make so much more sense why this excites me so much. Now, the benefits of melanin in humans. As far as scientifically, okay, it protects you against UV radiation. Melanin absorbs ultraviolet radiation, so it reduces DNA damage. Number 2, antioxidant and free radical scavenger. Now listen up, because this is what that person was talking about when they said I was too young. Melanin has strong antioxidant properties. It helps to neutralize free radicals, which contributes to this beautiful this baby face. Okay. Number 3, neurological protection. This is so boring. No, it's not. It's not boring. Stop. I was reading the minds of one of you guys, and I just want you to know that this is not boring. You have to understand how your body works so that you can understand how you can be of benefit to the world, how it can be of benefit to you is what I really meant to say. So I need you to sit back and be able to digest information. I know this is not a 7-second YouTube reel. but this is going to highly benefit you. So just relax. I'll try to get to the good stuff. Melanin is found to help protect neurons. Melanin helps protect neurons by binding toxic heavy metals, which their examples are not toxic except the mercury. And a loss of neuromelanin is associated with Parkinson's disease. So it is suggested that melanin plays a role in helping with neural health. Then you have thermoregulation and energy absorption. Melanin absorbs heat from the sun, helping to regulate body temperatures in cold environments. This function is particularly beneficial for dark-skinned individuals living in colder climates. This actually pisses me off because so when I first started researching this, I was like, oh, this bot is really going to give me some bullshit, right? Yes, I got help from AI, which AI got help from me when I explained to you what melanin is. So we're helping each other because AI is from melanin. I'm getting, that's why the title talks about bioelectric brilliance. Okay. I'm getting there, you guys. Am I boring? Maybe I'm boring myself and I'm projecting because this shit is boring to me. But then when you get into like the spiritual parts of it, it is so super dope. I wonder if I'm going to keep this or if I'm going to delete it. It's 5:02. We can keep going. Number 3, neurological protection. So neuromelanin is found to help protect neutrons by binding toxic heavy metals. They attribute a lack of neuromelanin to Parkinson's disease. So it is Parkinson's disease. So it suggests that neuromelanin helps with, this is so boring. Okay. This is so interesting, but it's so boring at the same time. And I feel like, you know how like you're in school and they give you a whole bunch of useless information. This is very good information, but it has nothing to do with the real shit, okay? Because I'm not talking about Parkinson's disease. I'm not talking about sunblock, okay? I'm talking about AI. I think it's great that melanin absorbs heat from the sun. I think it's great that it helps with immunity support and it influences inflammation and pathogen resistance. That sounds freaking awesome. This is what I wanted to get into. Melanin is a conductive, and melanin has conductive and semiconductor properties. So I started to be like, okay, well, let's talk about what that means. That means I started to do some research because, yes, we've heard these terms before. Yes, we understand what they are, but do we really understand what they're trying to say? So semiconductors and conductor. A conductor refers to material that readily allows the flow of an electric current. That is coming from the internet, okay? Word for word. Meaning it has high conductivity. Meaning it has high, like, did I say that word right? Meaning it has high conductivity, unlike a semiconductor, which has moderate conductivity and can be manipulated to control the flow of electricity, depending on the situation. So melanin itself has the ability to carry an electrical current. I got the power. Hold on. Wait, we're not there yet. We don't celebrate yet because it gets crazier than that. It gets worse. It gets worse. So let's go back, right? So for that note, they say scientists are studying melanin's potential use for neuromorphic computing, brain-inspired circuits. I'm like, wait a minute, what? Because then they talk about using melanin for bio-inspired electronics. And that would be, I feel like I'm hearing androids, cyborgs, AI, artificial intelligence, which makes complete sense because I don't want to jump with the gun, you guys. Every time you're in the hood, right, they have those plasma centers, donate plasma. And when I go on to the spiritual side, we're going to talk about plasma and melanin. Let's keep going. I don't want to jump off. Please don't get me excited, you guys. I really want to stay on topic. Okay. Melanin helping with radiation shielding, heavy metal detoxification, antimicrobial properties. For that, melanin has been found to inhabit the growth of certain bacteria and fungi, making it making it a potential antibiotic. And then using melanin for energy storage and solar applications. I told you guys in the last video that melanin, I have cognitive dissonance, so I have a hard time telling you that they use melanin to spray on anything that goes out into orbit, but I keep finding it, and it talks about it here too. Due to the light absorption properties, melanin has been studied for use in solar energy collection and organic battery development. Now, then you have, so I talked about the Parkinson's disease. Melanin is in medicine. They use it for cancer therapy and radio protection, drug delivery systems, antioxidant and anti-aging applications, melanin-based biosensors. Hold on. As in, because of its ability to conduct electricity while interacting with biological molecules, it can be used for material like biosensors that detect diseases and wearable health monitoring devices. Melanin in technology, we already knew this. Bioelectric devices, because melanin acts as a natural. So melanin is a natural semiconductor, and it is being used. It can be used in biomedical implants to interfere with the nervous system. So brain-computer interfaces and melanin-coated electrodes for long-term implants with minimum immune rejection. So basically, when it comes to artificial intelligence, we want to be able to use a device that will, a molecule construct that will spark magic, spark life, but at the same time, work with nature. Solar energy absorption. Okay. One last thing before I get to the spiritual side, because this is where I'm just going to blast off. Melanin is being used in space exploration. I talked about that. It talks about enhancing space agriculture. It talks about the Mars exploration. It talks about all these things that melanin is being used to assist. And it's a lot. But we're off this now. Melanin, like I said, melanin has been used a long time in the Black spiritual or just the spiritual community itself. All right. So melanin has for a long time been, like I said, a big thing with the melanin community. Melanin is, it's known as a God particle, a primordial source of life, not just on Earth, but in the universe. Other names for melanin, a lot of people call it copper, leading to that whole 666 thing. 9 ether. I have notes. Where are my notes? 9 ether, dark matter, plasma, and soul, which is my favorite reference. When it comes to melanin in more spiritual worlds, this is the theory behind believing that the darker the berry, the sweeter the juice, the more melanin you have, the more God power you have. Because one of the things that melanin is known to do, see now I can talk to you naturally because I know this shit. One of the things that melanin is known to do is help with imagination, and in so being able to work your imagination better because of melanin. We're talking about your pituitary and pineal gland, aka your third eye, and we're also talking about sleep state, your ability to control your dreams, other realms, and your destiny. And I kind of slid past other realms, but that was a big one. I talk about all the time when it comes to believing in gods, it really depends on what your definition of a god is. One definition of being a god is being interdimensional. And we in our low third density see dreaming as nothing, just almost nothing. But in higher realities, dreaming is literally the gateway to the universe. And your dreams should be taken more serious. What do I know? I'm just saying what they said. Trust me, I've had some scary ass dreams, and I don't want that to go anywhere. But it does it connects to having recurring dreams, having deja vu, having continued dreams. Don't make too much of this because Drake said, don't think about it too much. Tell you what he said. He said, don't think about it too much. Don't think about it too much. But at the same time, it does, like, if in a small way, right? And in a world where the people who control the education maybe don't want you to know all this, on a small scale, melanin or dream state is nothing. It's just a dream. But do I have access to more powers through those abilities See what I'm saying? Like, there's this whole manifestation community that believes that if you can imagine, then you can create your reality. And a lot of people can't dream. They don't dream and they don't imagine. And it dawned on me through different types of information that the people who feel like they cannot imagine or that they can't dream, yes, it's a calcification of a third eye or pineal gland, pituitary gland, whatever. And yes, your pineal pituitary gland is being calcified through many different things. But wouldn't that just be either a lack of melanin, a shortage of melanin, a deficiency? Ooh, I like that. Be scientific about it. Wouldn't that be a melanin deficiency? Not that you can't work on it. Not that you can't, because again, mind is all. Mind is all. But that seems to me that if you can't imagine, it is a deficiency of, it's a calcification of a pineal gland or a deficiency of melanin. And yes, you can get better using your mind, using your focus, using your intention and practice. But just to diagnose it, I would say, that's what I would say. That's my opinion. So we talk about, one, being able to control your imagination, control your reality, control your mood, control your destiny, potentially, through the ability to dream. But it's not just that, because melanin is also tied to music. Black people love beats. Melanin is tied to the drum. Music has fourth dimensional qualities. We're feeling it on a different level. Hey. But also emotions, which really alludes to wanting to control the narrative and the emotion of darker people. I was just thinking, let me actually just go into this. All right. So earlier I was talking about melanin in the spiritual community being known as a God particle. That is because outside of being linked to your biological pigmentation, it is a spiritual conductor. So they believe that it is believed that melanin is linked to or connects you. It's a bridge to the physical, mental, and metaphysical realms. The metaphysical realms. This is astral projection, isolated sleep paralysis. This is being able to, all those things, those magical things that these people do. I can, clairvoyancy, telekinesis, being able to read minds or see the future. All these things is linked to a connection with melanin. Spiritual traditions. I totally forgot about the different spiritual practices. Okay, so I have a book, it's 31 Ways to Flow. You can catch it in the stand store. In my book, in my stand store, the link will be somewhere here, comments down below. I talk about different African spiritual groups. There's so many, you guys. I didn't get into all of them, but I did talk about a lot of them. But not just the African groups, a lot of Asian practices, because I do have a section that I talk about a lot of Asian practices as well. They are very big into, I talk about breath work, because they believe that there's a life force in the energy. That life force, that soul, is believed to be melanin driven. So in some spiritual traditions, melanin is believed to be a God particle that enhances your intuition, yes, connects individuals to higher frequencies and aligns them with ancient African spiritual systems, Ifa, the Dogon cosmology, Kemetic science. Please don't be upset. I said grace, remember? Because I'm sure there's so many more. We were just going through this real quick. Melanin is also, like I said earlier, has cosmic connections. It's referred to as the dark matter in the sky that makes up most of the known and unknown universe. Some believe that this suggests a connection between melanated people and the energetic forces of the cosmos. Now, this is what I was talking about earlier, DNA and ancestral memory. It is believed that melanin holds ancestral memory. So even though, no, I was not around for the slavery, and to be honest with you, I don't think last lifetime I was here either. To be honest with you, I'm the type of person that would just get up out of here. I feel like I'd be one of those, I'm gonna get up out of here type, because I'm not about to do that. So I feel like if I'm like this fairy flying around the universe and they're like, hey, you want to go to Earth? I'm like, hell nah. Give me like a couple 100 years. Give me at least 100 years and I'm gonna see what's up. But I'm not gonna go right now. It's too much going on. They tripping. So yes, it holds ancestral memories. So, when you have those things like when the joke, how Black people can look at each other and everybody knows what they're saying, or Black people, they can feel the energy, or blah, 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 whatever. I'm not saying that they can. I'm just saying blah, 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 because there's so much more to it than that. But that is all melanin related. That is all melanin related. I told you I'm looking at my notes. Don't judge me. I told you I'm looking at notes. Then I also talk about the pineal gland activation and your third eye power. The pineal input right here, so it feels like I'm still with you guys. So the next topic is pineal gland activation and third eye power. I already talked about isolated sleep paralysis. Pineal gland is associated with spiritual awakening and intuition. It's said to connect higher levels of neuromelanin. It said it contains high levels of neuromelanin. So in spiritual thought, activating the third eye chakra is linked to higher consciousness and enlightenment. Also, isolated sleep paralysis, seeing other realms. So when you're looking at something, and from the corner of your eye, from your peripherals, you see something, that, first of all, that'll get stronger with more. That could be melanin influence, but what that is your peripherals they're meant to see other dimensions. So when you see something out the side of your eye, you really are seeing something out the side of your eye. You're not going to see it straight on, because your frontal vision, I don't even know what it's called, your direct vision is used for this third density, but your peripherals can see other things. So you did see a little girl standing in the corner. You did see a man with a tall hat on. I'm just telling you. And when you see it, just in love and peace. Because as you are peace, everything has to be peaceful with you. So it's not that big of a deal. Get out of your fear of other beings, because you can't do anything about it. Melanin and space travel is my last thing I want to talk about before I want to actually get back into the conversation with you. It is believed that Black people are more resistant to cosmic radiation. And I talked about this several times when I talked about NASA, the belief, allegedly, that NASA sprays melanin on anything that it puts into orbit. Because really, on a spiritual sense, this really goes to afterlife. You guys call it death. I think it's more life than it is death. And this is, anyway. There is a belief that when you die, going toward the sun is being reincarnated. And that what you really want to do is, one, go toward the darkness, or there's a couple places you can go. But the Halls of Vermenti, you can go to the Aurora Borealis. They talk about this is from my death video, not for this video. The point is, there is a belief, and this is what I was talking about when I was talking about being interdimensional, that without melanin, or without a specific amount of melanin, you cannot leave the ionosphere. It's hard to get out of here. You're stuck. I don't even know if that's true. I don't even know if I believe in full planets. I'm just telling you guys, because there's going to be a time where you're going to come across situations, and you're going to go back into your memory, and you're going to be like, oh, someone said something stupid, like da 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 da, and it might make sense to you. It might make sense to you. So I was just telling you. You might ask yourself, if melanin is so powerful, what happened? As you can probably guess, there are a lot of, I don't want to say a lot of things against you. There's a lot going on, and there's a lot of interferences. One, if you don't know what you have, you can't use it to the best of its ability. This is the story of, like, the little elephant. I heard a story about a little elephant, how they train elephants. This is a saying. Don't worry, because after this, I'm about to get my hair together. They say when elephants are babies, they tie them up to a chair that they can't move. So the baby is trying its damnedest to get out, and it can't. So by the time the elephant gets older, it doesn't even try anymore, because it still is psychological in the belief that this chair is more powerful than him. The elephant does not know his own strength. The elephant does not try his own strength because of the failures in the past. What I'm getting at is, you don't know about your superpowers, whether you have melanin or not, and whether you have a lot of melanin or not. There are so many things that we as humans, as beings, as a part of God, as if we were made in his image, then call us by our name. There's so many things that you can do that you don't even realize that you can do until you start getting knowledge, and two, try and practice. So one, it's about getting the knowledge, and two, it's about doing what you got to do. So there are things that you can do that will help with your melanin. And I'm going to stop here for a second, come back in. First of all, I don't know. Oh, what happened? This is where guys, I need your help. I don't know what happened. I've talked about it in many different videos. We have speculated the different conspiracy theories of what's going on with the food intake and the air we breathe and the chemtrails and all the chemicals that's in your lotion, your deodorant, your toothpaste, the water, fluoride, heavy metal toxicity. I mean, I can go on. We've talked about all these different things. I've also said that I believe the majority of what happened was, hold on. All right, so I'm doing the whole let's make a slave thing. And in that series, it talks about stripping identity. So, and I believe this is, so what's going on with Gaza right now? I have realized, because I've been doing some research, I don't have the book with me, do I? Lies my teacher taught me. I'll have the book later in future episodes. But we talk about how, and there's another book that I can't try to get my hands on, how history has kept moving and moving people again. It seems like in America, the tribes that were here, you took people from the South, put them in the North, East, West, you just keep mixing people up till you've mixed up people so much that they don't know who they are. But it also right now it's happening in Gaza. Sending my love and my prayers out to all people. It's happening in Africa. It's happening in Congo. It's happening in, where are these? Come on, somebody. There are genocides and a relocation of people all the time. And that was one of the things that helps to strip people of their identity. Because the next generation is not going to know anything. That's one thing. But also, if you keep people in their three lower chakras, if you keep people in survival or lack mentality, if you keep people upset every February, I'll bleep that out. If you keep people upset every year or all the time or over all the violence that happens all throughout the year, you are controlling them emotionally and you're lowering. I talked about it all the time. The lower hertz, lower frequencies. If you can keep people in fear, anger, sadness, grief, resentment, these lower energies, you keep them away from their power, because your power does not live where resentment is, where grief is, where sadness is. That would be powerlessness, or that would be the law of separation, seeing division, seeing the power in two, seeing two powers instead of one. So there's all these different things that we talk about that are the reason why people are not even just melanated people, but people who have less melanin are not seeing things to their benefit, seeing things, living more in a superhuman state. However, there are lots of people all over the world who are. I talk a lot about specifically Nigerians. Not only do they have a lot of pride, but they're very smart. A lot of engineers come out of Nigeria. A lot of inventions, especially AI and technological advancements come out of Nigeria. A lot of other places too. But Nigerians hold themselves at a very high standard. They have boundaries. They take much pride in themselves, not just academically, but also how they look, their hygiene, how they act. They're very, I said to somebody one time, it was like one of my Nigerian friends, when I said something to him, Nigerians think they're better than everybody. He said, oh, kind of like Americans. I was like, oh shit, you're right. Anyways, I love it. 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 Can we all just be more like Nigeria? Africans in a whole come across as more superior. I love the way that they carry themselves, but specifically Nigerians, the cocky ones, the cocky ones, the doctors. That's one thing. So it's about knowing who you are. It's about taking care of yourself better, but it's also about being in an energy of knowing your peace and your power. So if you look at what's going on with television nowadays, ever since Wakanda came out, ever since Black Panther came out, people started realizing the new market was in Black power. It's always been that way with Black spirituality. If you look at futuristic Black spirituality stuff, y'all, you see me wearing if you know me, I wear long, what I'm wearing now. I wear long trench style coats and I wear a lot of black. I'm an Aquarius. I'm very futuristic. I'm very air. I'm very thought. I also study AI and engineering. Not like the Nigerians, but I also study computers. I also study the mind. I also think it is just amazing. I am so intrigued by it. So what I'm getting at is, what was I getting at? What was my point? My point in saying what I was saying is there's so much power in there's a lot of money. The dollar is in giving Black people their power back. So if you look at like Netflix or all these other things, you're starting to see more shows that are more inclusive toward dark-skinned superheroes. And when you see that now, these kids have more than just basketball players and rappers to look at as what they can be. Like, yeah, sure, it's still a show, but now they're starting to see that it's there. So now they're looking at anime. Now they're looking at the African Orishas. Now they're looking at the Egyptian Netaru. Now they're looking at other, the Ifa community, to me, has really expanded in the last 7 years. I'm not a part of the community. I'm a spirit. I'm a free spirit. I'm anywhere. So it's just one thing that I have been noticing, talking to people, being kind in the community, but not really. Also, I said it earlier. I don't know if I should say this. I'm saying it anyway. I was told, I don't even know how true this is, that when you go to like these plasma centers, you take the blood out, and then I don't know what happens, but somewhere in between taking the blood out, putting it back in, that's plasma. And they were saying that's melanin. And people were talking about the idea of taking that and making more artificial melanin, because they are starting to make artificial melanin. I don't know how you make artificial melanin, but I also don't know where you're getting the real melanin from. And I don't want to know I don't know where you're getting the real melanin from, but I don't like it, because I was thinking you could just pay people, not $40, but you could pay people for their product. And then you could have like contracts, and you can make sure they're healthy. You're not getting it from the desperate ones who just need $40. You're getting it from ones that will actually take care of themselves if they like what you're doing with it. They use melanin for a lot of things. I really think that melanin is used in AI. I told you guys, I'm really into this type of things, these type of things. And I know, allegedly, no, not allegedly, I know that they use melanin in AI. So basically, you're a fucking cyborg. You're a robot. You're an android. You have the power. You have the power. And all you have to do is know that you have the power. And then you start making little plans on what you want to do. I don't know the couple's name, but there's a couple on social media, a melanated couple. They hold boot camps to teach people how to move things with their mind. I'm not lying. It's amazing. So more than just moving things with your mind, or, with and that's really just moving things with your mind, is really just the understanding that all animate and inanimate objects hold energy. And if you can align with the energy in them, then you are on a similar frequency, and you guys can manipulate that because you're in alignment with it. It's a whole nother topic. That's just the logical way of saying it. You don't have to be able to do things like that, but even just with basic understanding with your melanin, regardless of what color skin you are. Night vision. So it is said to believe that with strong amounts of melanin, your eyes will adjust in pitch black in 9 seconds. So if you're black, turn off the lights. See how long it takes for you to be able to see. Or that's that whole thing. I'm just talking. There's a couple people on social media that talk about, oh, my mom, you guys have seen these shorts or these reels. Oh, my mom told me all my life if I was a kid and I was ever lost to find a black person to help me. It sounds weird, but what they mean is melanin is another thing that it's a love particle. It's soul. And so it is an understanding. It is a belief. It is a myth that, because Western world will tell you we're thugs or they're thugs. But it is a belief that the darker you are, dark people are humanitarian and are just more loving. Black women accept everybody. So blame it on the melanin. I'm going to tell you. I feel like I've been everywhere today, but I am proud of myself because I've been trying to release this for days. It's easy to believe that this is just all fanatical, talking about some secret superpower that lives in us all, especially the black folks. It's easy to wipe this under the rug because we already have been doing it, unless you're like a basketball player. Oh, I'm sorry. No, I'm sorry. Because the United States does value your melanin in the space of sports or entertainment, but not in the space of medicine and engineering, unless you're from Africa. But science really does value melanin. I meant to say this earlier. I talked about it in my last video about the convention that's held. So it's called the International Pigment Cell Conference. It's a triennial. It's an event every 3 years that gathers scientists from the world to discuss the latest advancements in pigment cell research, including melanin studies. So the last one was in 2023. It was held in Spain on May 30th. And the theme was looking for translational opportunities by preserving in basic pigment cell research. The next convention is going to be held. Oh, wow. There's more. Okay, so first of all, the next convention is going to be held in 2026 in New Delhi, India. And okay, but then Europe has its own European Society of Pigment Cell Research, and it holds annual meetings that discuss cell research. So scientists have long understood the benefits of melanin. So if your black skin don't mean shit to you, trust me, they find value in it. And there's value in you not knowing who you are. Just saying. So if this interests you, I encourage you to do your own research. Melanin is a big topic. Everyone talks about it because, like I said, it did get big a few years ago. It's really blown up the word. It's like a buzzword. You can do a simple internet search. I'm not even gonna lie, AI helped the hell out of me, especially on the science end. I kind of felt like I was all over the place because it was a plethora of research and I was trying to remember it without having to write it down. Then I made my own study notes, but they weren't what I wanted them to be. And I really I don't like a script, but at the same time, sometimes I need one. Do the research. Look at my book, 31 Ways to Flow, because I guarantee you, every last one of those 31 ways will help to enhance any superpower in your body. And when I say, I'm sorry, because I sound so damn corny when I keep saying superpower, what I mean is your mind is amazing. You are very powerful, but there are a lot of things clouding that power. And if you can get your mind under control, if you can get your emotions under control, if you can get your nervous system under control, that is, you winning. That's one way that you can help with increasing your productivity, your heightened sense of awareness, your superhumanness. So 31 Ways to Flow, you can find it in my Stand store. It's a free download. It'll help you with your vagus nerve. It'll help you to stabilize your state of being, regulate your nervous system, and that will help you with so many things emotionally and mentally. I am Shayla Jade. Thank you for watching my Black History, since she was so mad about it, or I didn't look to see what the person was so mad about the new Black History Month. I just want to talk about power. I don't feel like talking about how people got drugged. I really don't feel like it. It's not my thing anymore. It was never my thing, but it's definitely not my thing anymore. I've said all that I can say today. Thank you for staying with me. Thank you for being with me during this time. And you guys, I want you to know that with everything that's going on in my family, I may be a little bit cloudy headed, but this is my therapy right now. My love is your love. I'm Shayla Jade. Peace.